Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL live from Shanghai, coming to your screens tonight, and we will be coming in with our final game between Suning Gaming and TOP, and more importantly, TOP's last remaining chance to try and snag a playoff spot. It all starts here, but before we get into this one, I do have to address what was happening on the analyst desk. Banner Canner, I haven't even heard that one before. We had Thomas the Tank Engine, we've had Bruce Banner, and my personal favorite, Cannondorf, which
who'd use that?
Me, just now.
You just thought of that?
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Okay. You
Thought
know,
of it in
you
the break.
use it
There's many
more
good
often.
names, but for some reason they said Banacana. But either way, let's get into this matchup. Suning Gaming versus TOP. TOP, they have to make it happen. Last game they did, it was a little bit all over the place. Like, they definitely just dragged Suning Gaming down into the dirt with them at level 1. And it was like, well, this is how the rest of the game is going. We've set the tone. Let's rumble.
Yep, and it just felt like every single time that one person extended out of a lane, it was either Fury or just about everybody, I'm not going to lie. Knight had his moments as well. He's got blasted by a Casio who was 3 kills early on in the game. So Goong had a stand-up performance. I guess if we're talking about stand-up performance, 3 members really do come to mind. It was Goong, Marn, and of course Phage.
Indeed, we've already got the bands flying through. It's Caitlyn, Rise, and Olaf from TOP, and Galio, Cogmore, and Karma from Suning Gaming, and a first pick, Xayah for Fury.
That's interesting coming out of Suning Gaming. They're already showcasing that even if they're on blue side, they do not want to pick up the Galio immediately. They do not look towards Kog'Maw, even though Fury is also known as the Kog'Maw player as well. So you could already tell that Suning Gaming want to open up the mid lane as soon as possible, but don't want to limit Knight's DPS with the Galio pick.
Amaran, the classic Gnar pick once more. But XX will take away the Sejuani this time, so we will get to see something new from Hacker.
Well, I mean, in if you're Suning Gaming, just pick up the Lovers Duo at this point in time. Looks like they just completely decided that that was fine to give away to Suning Gaming. So TOP was known for Xayah and Rakan. That's what's fun, because teams banned the Xayah Rakan against TOP, but they are somehow fine with going into that early on. Sure, you can pick up the Tahm Kench, and that's probably the best choice that you can make, but the early damage that they can dish out is what's threatening. Early damage in the lane, shove that you can utilize for yourself, and then of course the safety that the Rakan has for themselves. They are probably the safest duo in the game in their duo lane, just because honestly Rakan can just ditch flash early in laning phase to go double offensive summoners, because he has so much distance to cover by just going straight towards the Xayah.
And that was the Jarvan as well for Hacker into the jungle, so a good old LPL pick right there for you. And we'll have the Tahm Kench in the end for TOP into the bot lane. So we'll go back onto these bans now for TOP.
What happens when finally someone takes away the Sejuani away from him? He's like, all right, I'm just going to go for the other team fighter. But that does mean that going towards Krugs, not expected for the Jarvan. So Sejuani does have a little bit more options in being able to take these side camps, the Gromps and Krugs, while Jarvan wants to look for early ganks. So if Sejuani can slow the pace of the game down, get these Scuttle Crabs, and just try and farm it out, she should have an experience advantage.
Vladimir will be the ban towards Xiao Ao, and also technically Knight. Another Cassiopeia ban towards Goong right here. We'll get his hands on that one in this third and final game in this matchup. And back over to TOP for their final ban.
Alright, so the Vladimir makes sense because they're going towards top lane. TOP, I don't know if they want to dish out 2 top lane bans, unless they really feel strongly about Sion. Yeah, I guess they do. So sure, no Sion, so there's no protection at the top side of the map. Gnar is already picked up here, and I think Suning Gaming might just go towards Shen, so there's extra protection on the Jarvan engage. And there's also, Jarvan engage, Rakan engage. They can do quite a bit with the Shen pick, so I would love to see Suning Gaming go towards Shen.
That would be cool. And it does find instant Gnar. You can mitigate a lot of Gnar's laning phase by Spirit's Refuge. So you're going to go down a farm, but you're not going to just die. So Shen will do okay in that matchup. Varus comes into the bottom lane for TOP, not banned away by Suning, so that'll be the Varus and Tahm Kench duo that we're seeing once again here.
Good range, good range. So right now TOP has decided that the range in the lane will suffice with the just outright strength and skirmish of the duo. So TOP, a lot of focus is how Chocho and Phage do play out in that laning phase.
Echo comes in for Knight. This is our 5th Echo pick of the LPL, currently sitting at 50% win rate. And we'll also get a Camille as well for Suning Gaming. So no Shen in this one, just another initiator.
See, I love this. I love this because Knight is the Echo player. He's been changing the meta just a little bit. Sure, the Echo did start with Faker in the LCK, but the moment you see that lights shining on Knight saying, you know what, let me go to it a lot more frequently. It's a blind pick Echo, which is the one thing you have to worry about, but he banned out the Kassadin and the worst lane matchup you can go with the Cassiopeia, so at the very least, he can get supported by the jungler and not get completely dogged in the laning phase. So sure, this is a great matchup for Goong, but Goong has to look towards XX, so the 2v2 is not completely in Sydney Gaming's favor.
Wow, and it's actually going to be a Malzahar coming through as well. I guess we had a bunch of mid lane bans flying towards Goong, but moving to the Malzahar. Haven't seen Malzahar in a while. Like, he was picked a bunch at the start of the split and then just kind of got phased out as the top 4 got constant nerfs, but now we'll see him again today.
Yeah, he's got a few nerfs for himself really early on, and at the same time, the meta did move towards early push tier build as well. Malzahar is not the tier champion you would want to see for himself. I want to see what his itemizing could be. So that will be fun to see what a Malzahar in 8.4 looks like.
Probably the same kind of theory as the old Skarner. Just try and lock down a single target. Look for those picks as well as you approach mid-game. Plus you have the Sejuani and you have the Varus coming through as well. So probably going to be in the same way that if you stuck a Ryze in the mid lane, probably just instant Rune Prison, follow-up CC.
Yep, so just the gank pressure, that's immediate, and that's what Suning Gaming have to deal with is the Sejuani and Malzahar. That's 100%. I wonder if Echo took Spellbook for himself just because getting cleanse within the laning phase, that sucks. You don't want to just be locked down with cleanse as an Echo pick, so you want to have the option to go towards cleanse. But if he didn't go towards Spellbook, if he went towards Electrocute, which is far more often so you can take command in the laning phase, then you're going to go TP. You're either going TP or if you're all in, you're going Ignite.
We'll have to see what he goes for in the end. Just a couple seconds until we hit the Rift. We get to see the compositions one more time as well. So Camille, also the pick going to the top lane. That was the last pick from Suning Gaming. That will go to Xiao Ao when facing down Marin. So he's definitely looking to challenge Marin in this one. I know at the start of the series he was saying, oh, I just kind of want to go even and farm and then I'll join up for team fights later. But now he's actually saying, hey, maybe I can beat him in the side. And we'll find out as we head on to the Rift, our third and final game in this best of 3. TOP's last hopes. Can they do it against Suning Gaming?
Uh-oh.
Hold on, buddy.
There's a break in the ranks, even amongst TOP's fans.
He's gone rogue.
He heard the man scream it, and he was like, nah, my champ is better.
I'll come in after. All right.
Incredible.
We're always going to have Marin supporters. No matter what team he's on, they're always just going to find him.
You can frame that one up. That one looks probably the best sign I've seen in a
Oh,
long
it lights
time.
up.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's always a light shining on Marin. Moment that acquisition came through. Hell of a lot more fans started lining up in the TOP department.
Man, is every fan in the audience just a Marin fan?
Yeah, pretty
just
much.
Only Marin side. Just another one?
They're all using TOP. They're all, every single one of them are using TOP just run around jokes. Yeah, the top laner of TOP. So, yeah, there we go.
Never heard that one before.
I'm putting it on a sign.
But Xiao Ao, he's walking up into the deepest brush he possibly can, so he hasn't skilled anything yet. Now he's gone for the tactical sweep. And we'll use it, so he'll just get poked first. So
yeah, you do want to utilize the bush a lot more often against range matchups, so that's going to be good for Xiao Ao. Just kind of force Marin to use his trinket in the bush so he gets routed out. But if Marin uses trinkets in the bush, then Hacker gets away into the lane. So that's one thing that Marin has to be aware of.
Xiao gets the early push as well. Taking W level 1 means he can just push in. Plus he's got the Comet. It was one of the key reasons why Camille even came back in the first place. And he gives it an attempt onto Chocho, but that's the time crunch lane.
Yeah, starting off fast, starting off quick. Hacker immediately trying to go for it. Here's what's fun about this. Suning Gaming are such a linear team in how they focus around mid lane. Echo is good skirmishing early with Electrocute into Malzahar. So sure, Malzahar is great. Like, he has excellent level 6 sit down, and I'm just gonna wreck your face. But before that, Electrocute Echo has way too much damage for Malzahar to handle. And the passive that Malzahar have is completely useless up against the stacks of Echo's passive. So, especially now that Echo has minion dematerializer, he's gonna be a lot more invested in the lane.
Aki's found XX, forcing the flash immediately. Sejuani getting pushed away from a crab. Never thought I'd live to see the day.
They're not fast enough to get to it. So this is TOP in 3 lanes, if you count jungle as lane. You know, just in the sentence, I will let it work. So 3 positions. 3 positions getting bullied. Mid lane's getting bullied. Top lane's getting bullied. And if it's your XX, you probably don't want to be seen in the top lane because that's now Hacker's territory.
And Hacker arrives to the Krugs. He did manage to get most of the camp before Hacker arrived, XX.
Oh, no. All right, I don't know if this tower is going to save you.
Well, there are two of them this time, but I've seen this one before.
Echo's
in
coming.
the last game. Here comes Echo. Can he get the double stun down? Zhao's already initiated. They've found the jungler first. First blood goes to Hacker.
And that's just rough. Goong has heal, changed into TP. Sure, yeah, you can TP now. That's why he based early on, because he wasn't fast enough to rotate along with the Echo. Realized too late, so he's like, maybe if I get the base timing off, it's going to be 5 seconds. Then I can change up and then get TP top lane. That's like 11 seconds of just no action happening mid lane. So very easy dive for Sinning Gaming.
And Goong has to burn his teleport there because he's just like, well, they could just dive again since they still have 3 members, so I have to burn a teleport. And Sinning Gaming, as soon as they see that, they're like, great, we'll leave. We've got the teleport.
And that's all just from XX committing towards his Krug camp. It's rough for him because if he goes blue side, he's already cleared that, so what is he going to take? Wolf camp's up now because of the second camp, but it's rough for a Sejuani completely conceding that much experience, but especially if your mid lane's going to have a time, as you recently realized, top lane gets chunked out, you're not going to have the Krugs to yourself. Learns that the hard way.
We are seeing a repeat of game 1, actually, in this best of 3 here, as Sinning Gaming are starting to put the pressure back onto top lane here. And once again, Hacker is even moving towards the top lane. And once again, no wards here, so Marin will get caught in this one in mini form as well. He's probably got an inkling this is happening now, as Xiao is running towards him, but doesn't have any mana, so can't really follow him down.
Thankfully, the mini form speed boost that you get when you come out of it was just enough to get out of the sweep coming out of Xiao. So no slow, meaning that Marin gets out completely clean.
Meanwhile, in the jungle, Knight is putting pressure onto XX as he's looking for the invade, but it's a 2 versus 1 right now. Knight, he's not dissuaded. He's still going to keep going because June is rotating from the bottom lane, and XX is by himself. He's going to be Zyra in a second over the wall, and Knight will follow through. It's another kill, this time to Knight.
Entire A team. Sinning Gaming's early game is so crisp. Feels like, sure, Jarvan's cutting the top side of the map, but your Raptors are still well protected because Sinning Gaming's bottom side of the map converges onto you immediately.
And another unlucky early game from XX. And at a certain point, you have to stop saying it's unlucky and what's going on with the early game, XX? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, it's a team thing. It really is, because there are certain decisions that you can get away with if you go up against another team. Like, game 2, going an invasion on Krugs does work sometimes. I think that was a fine one, because it's on the guess that the enemy jungler doesn't come in to take the Krugs, and that your top laner comes and converges on you. That didn't happen. In fact, no lanes came in to back him up.
Wow, Marin just read him like green eggs and ham. That was absurd. But Marin, right now with the level 6 advantage, maybe Xiao can make something happen. Marin's going to get the chase down. He's about to get Mega Gnar as well. He doesn't have level 6 though. And they will back away.
Yeah, just because he wasn't level 6, that was the main reason for it. Now, the best thing about this matchup is the fact that, yeah, Gnar can jump out of it, but hookshot is a faster cooldown. So you're going to get another rotation of hookshot. That's why Camille decided to all in, knowing that there's no way for Marin to get out of that situation once he flashes. But yeah, the skirmishes are working so well for Marin.
Played it so well. Now back into this mid lane. We've got the farm advantage, plus that 1 kill and assist.
This is what's going to suck. Echo, not like Aurelion Sol, but can roam quite a bit. Not going to find any opportunities to go mid unless if he gets a cheeky W into the lane, working around a control ward. Doesn't have a control ward in the lane. So we should just be expecting the Echo to be looking bottom lane, or just shadowing the jungler to look for a 4-man play.
What are the roam champions you could have picked? You picked Aurelion Sol.
Love the champion.
It's like Talia, Ryze, any meta pick.
What's wrong with Aurelion Sol?
Aurelion Sol. Because we would see him in the LPL, Raz.
One day.
Who plays Aurelion Sol? Hacker, flag, drag, knock up, and he's put up, knocked down, turns around the nether grasp, and now Jarvan's just trying to kill him in time. Snaps back with the ultimate, and XX going to follow through, but he's too late to the play.
Yeah, feels rough. No wards to catch out where Hacker is located, so he's able to just pick and choose where the play is. I thought it was going to be bottom lane. In fact, XX was probably thinking the same thing. Had a control ward on his blue buff, thinking maybe this is going for a bottom lane play, maybe going for my blue buff. They switched up and went for mid.
This is disastrous. An 8-minute mid lane tower about to fall down to Sunning Gaming here. Usually teams have to wait until 20, 25 minutes, even 30 minutes to try and get a mid lane outer, but it's already down for Sunning.
Yeah. At least Goong has his teleport, just so he can stop these plays from happening on the bottom side of the map. I don't know for how long that's going to happen. Every camp is just being succeeded.
everything's being taken away from XX. They've just beaten him up, taken his lunch money, also taken his blue buff. Like, everything is going wrong now for TOP with the jungle collapse.
Yeah, this is rough. Pings are coming through from Suning Gaming. At what camp XX is going to be on? Because Raptors is up and red buff is up. He's not going to forego the chance of going for Raptors and red buff, which means he's on the top side of the map. So TOP's bottom lane actually just has to base. Sure, it's a good time to do so, but they are going to do it at an inoptimal time and lose the way for it.
Aka walks into the jungle. XX, the fact he has to just wait in the brush, give it the good old 5 count before going towards any of his camps right now is just really sad to watch. Knight is even sitting here looking to contest, just sending a message like XX, you've got to remain paranoid even when farming your own camps.
That's rough. And the only thing that's stopping him from getting invaded on a little deeper is the fact that Echo's not willing to concede his potions for a control ward. If he had gotten a control ward for himself, he can press up more vision because he has much more control of red side jungle than he knows he has it.
Yeah.
But I think that's one criticism. Actually just sell the wards, sell the potions so you can actually have more control of the Sejuani jungle.
He has finished up his proto belt though in the mid lane with 1 kill and 2 assists. As bottom lane doing, Zay's picked up the BF sword. On the opposite side, Chocho has had to go for an early Ninja Tabbies plus the pickaxe. Actually same thing for Fury right here. Mid lane Remnant's been picked up for Gung, so going towards the kind of Vladimir build. And then top lane, early Sheen actually coming up from Chao. Still looking to try and duel down this now.
It's going to be rough for Chocho's pick because he went towards the armor boot so early on. It's going to be alright with lane, but his first item is going to be Guinsu's Rage Blade. Actually, it takes such a long time to build, or at least, especially if the game's going to be this fast in pace. Mid lane being taken down, Echo and Jarvan can do whatever they want. So the first item is going to be the most crucial, but the recipes for it is so bad. Specifically the blasting one. So Varus is going to be pretty useless until he gets that item.
You're absolutely right. I don't think they have time because, again, another Sunni gank into the top lane, just repeatedly camping Marin. But this time, the early teleport will be soon enough. Absolutely not. Marin's already dead. Now Gung is by himself on the top side, lands the ultimate, might be able to get a return kill tonight, but he snaps back, cancels the aggro because it's Echo. And it's going to be a second kill to Suning.
And that's the second time he's completely canceled out Gung's ulti. Every single time he's underneath the tower, he's like, all right, this time around, it's enough damage to kill Knight. Not at all. He gets the second to use his ulti to just get off of tower aggro.
How unfortunate. And now another play into the bottom lane. We just saw Echo make a play top lane. Now he's in the bottom lane 3 versus 3. But he's just going to buy some time for this teleport to come in for his team. 4 versus 3 now. But in comes Shower from the top lane, able to finish off Chocho. And now looking for the chase down to the rest of the TOP members. Phage looking to try and give them the bamboozle. And he is out of there. Taking the Abyssal Voyage back to the middle of the jungle.
Oh, there we go. There we have it. At least that 2 people escaped. At least XX and Phage got out of there. But Suning Gaming are just on top of the game. Flank wards coming through. Knight had the ability to make a play top lane and immediately TP for a flank bottom lane. We see this at a few teams, but Suning Gaming are playing like a top team.
They play the early game so well, Raz. And I feel like the only real problem in that second game was because of that level 1. That really just set everybody off kilter. Like, Caitlyn walks into lane with no summons. It's like, well, if they jump on me in this lane with Tristana Alistar, I guess I die. But apart from that, go into the third game, you put them on equal terms with their opponents, and everything looks so crisp in the early game for them. You even picked up the Herald while that was happening.
100%. And so now Suning Gaming being able to dictate their own early game feels great. Mid lane tower being taken so early on, it's almost like a sandbox mode of what you can do with that kind of advantage early on. They're finding out.
I don't know if Marin gets away from this one. This is Echo in the long lane. Another time winder, another follow-up. Phase dive, auto attack, and there it is.
He just flashed just because he didn't know who was around the other corner. He could have actually just utilized me with how short of a cooldown that was.
Yep.
That's fine.
And that is a big problem for TOP. They can't put Marin into a side lane because if Echo goes down there, it's just going to kill him.
That's usually a pretty good lane to put him up against, but the fact that he only has a Phage going up against a full item Knight, got a proto belt for himself, and the next item I would expect to be the Sheen. He wants to go towards Lich Bane, and that's just going to make matters even worse. So much worse.
It is problematic. I'm looking towards TOP and what they can kind of muster in the next couple of minutes and try and dig themselves out of the hole that they're in, but it doesn't seem like there's any other way but down.
love the fact that Knight was just spam thinking. He was like, I can't do this alone, guys. Come on now.
Someone at least clear out this Cloud Dragon for us. We need to find out what the next round's going to be. Hope it's not another Cloud.
Roll the dice. It's another Cloud.
Well, we may or may not see the team come back in 6 minutes. But another blue buff, that's probably going to be more exciting. That goes over to Hacker right here. Another denial from Goong. And we're not really even getting to see the composition from TOP work. You know, it was like, what's going to happen? We're going to see the SNG between Sejuani and Malzahar come out, lock down target, look for these picks. Well, currently TOP are actually getting perfect games.
Yeah, they got messed up on first clear. The fact that XX lost his flash really early on, that top lane took a really poor trade. I'm not even going to question Goong's early game just because it is really difficult as a Malzahar in this laning phase pre-6 because Echo has so many options to just jump on you. He doesn't necessarily need to hit the wave at all as long as the wave pushes towards him and Malzahar is going to do that. That's easy for him. But 2, or at least in that case, 3 really bad situations from TOP happened at the same time.
Well, I'm about to commit a play-by-play cardinal sin by asking you, what do TOP do next and how did they come back into the game, Raz? Because this is the one time where I really have to ask it, because they have to win this game if they want any hope of making playoffs.
This is it!
They try to make a play into the bot lane. It's fine. They've answered it for me. They come into the bot lane with 3 members, but they come back in with Hacker. 1 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 3, and now a 2 versus 2 because they've killed 1 person, chasing out Chocho. This is going disastrously wrong. In comes Rakan. Jumps onto this final target. 2 more kills to Suning Gaming.
He just blasted right through Phage's stomach. Wait a minute, he had the shield, but he was just popped up into the air, didn't get a chance to utilize it. You know what? That would have, you know, I feel a little bit more comfortable with my real answer, which would be a cowboy and just wait on XX's ulti. Just every single time XX throws an ult, that's your primary target. They found an option, and they're almost close to getting it done, but Suning Gaming as a team, once again, so quick to just jump on the situation.
A 15-minute inhibitor tower in the bot lane, Raz. TOP still don't have anything on the map, and we're almost at a 10,000 gold advantage.
So here's the real problem with this. Malzahar ulti, already gone. Already gone by the time that TOP is in position to respond to it, so there's not going to be a follow-up time from Chocho and Phage. So I think send the Tahm Kench ulti out there first, follow up with the Malzahar ulti, so at least you can get the immediate follow-up with the Chocho ulti. So there's real lockdown there. There wasn't a real lockdown. The fact he was able to get out of that immediately made it so much more difficult for TOP.
Not a single objective on the board for TOP right now, and they are being pushed in every single lane. Almost every single member on their team had 2 deaths.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's real synergy.
That is the most synergy we've seen in this game. And Marin pushed back once again. Will now have to go back to base. I'm just taking a look at some of the item builds, because Knight currently sat on the Oblivion Orb, and he has the Proto Belt, and he is going towards Lit Train as well, so kind of a little bit of everything here.
Oblivion Orb, nice, just because he gets the flat. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, that's all good, that's all good. But yeah, Oblivion Orb just for the flat penetration. So he's already snowballing. Why not get a little bit farther ahead? And the Sheen, he should just upgrade that one first. So get Lich Bane as soon as possible. Just sit on the Oblivion Orb so you can get the Morellonomicon afterwards.
Suning Gaming, I would say, well, maybe you should look towards the Baron if you want to knock down any of these more towers. But it's 17 minutes into the game. There is no Baron. So they'll just move towards mid lane. Classic 1-3-1.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it is. A little bit strange.
And Camille, honestly, just has free reign of this inhibitor if she's kept there long enough. TOP are on a ticking time clock right now. They need to force a fight or respond to Camille's push.
Looks like Camille is rotating towards this mid lane here. No, just kidding. Taking the Wolves in fact, while the rest of Suning Gaming push down the middle tower by themselves. In the 3 versus 3, knock it down to half.
There's so much uncertainty there. They only had the information when the wave crashed bottom lane that Camille was not there, and they have no idea what she's doing.
Push continues into the bot side. Looks like it's going to be a rotation here, actually, from Suning. Especially if Goong decides to step up, he will die. Minion waves here. Nice collapse into the top lane. Takes down another inner turret here. No response from TOP.
Just obviously good coordination from them because Gnar had to respond to this bottom lane wave, and Varus had to sit on mid lane wave because Camille was on it. So right now, these waves are being utilized with such great efficiency coming out of Suning Game.
Marin pushing back over to the bottom lane. Everyone going back to base on Suning. Getting to spend a lot of their well-earned gold. Though, shout out, get out of there. You don't want to be the one person who dies on the team ruining a perfect game.
Thankfully, off of all these bases, Knight does sell his potion. for that control ward. Thank God. God bless.
There we have it.
Papa bless.
And now there is nothing holding back Suning Gaming.
And that's all I wanted to see, man. That's all I wanted to see. So now 4 control wards across the side of Suning Gaming that they can just start piling down on towards Baron. They can play the Baron game even though it's 18 minutes in. They can actually just rush for a 20-minute Baron. If they have enough control around that side of the map long enough, moment it comes up, just go for it. Because TOP, they're afraid right now, even extending into the red side jungle. That's a no-go zone, so that's not even anywhere near the Baron pit.
The one thing that TOP can do right now is just sit in their mid lane as 5 members to try and clear the minion wave before it hits the tower, because where else is Suning Gaming going to attack? Because bottom lane is exposed, yes, but finding on open ground, looking for a pick right now onto the Jarvan, but he's barely taken any damage. Warren, can he do the damage to take out the Jarvan? He's got the shield hacker, flagging drag over the wall, but he just back it into the fight because he knows his team is there to back him up. Goong attacked by Knight, and he's going all the way in, has the ultimate ready to go, snaps back to his team, and now Phage, he's on the run, but the Catfish can't get too far as Hacker's about to slay him alongside Fury. 3 kills to Suning Gaming, no casualties.
When TOP's clenching their fist, they can do no wrong. They found an opportunity where Hacker was disrespecting them. But it doesn't matter because the moment it happens, Suning Gaming as a team, Xiao and Knight follows through.
Nexx, he can't even go into the tower. He can't even move down that lane. He has only one way to go. What are they even doing right now?
They're keeping him. They're actually holding him. Baron is up.
They're going to keep him as a pet.
Baron is up. He's going to be running. They can just rush towards Baron and kill XX now. If they kill him now, then they can just get a free Baron.
This is... Let yourself die, XX. Actually just suicide into a tower.
Get back!
This is hilarious.
Get back, you animal!
They're actually just keeping him here. Oh! XX, just commit suicide at this point, and you will finally finish him up. XX is just laughing his ass off right now.
Actually cracking it up.
But what it means is that he's not going to be here for the Baron, as you said.
Yeah, they've pretty much conceded it entirely. Right now, the entirety of TOP are all in lanes. Mid lane's pushed out, top lane's getting pushed out, and bottom lane's the same. Just because their next plan of action is to defend the Baron buff. So they're not even thinking about stealing. He's still laughing. XX, please.
That was quite funny, though. But Suning Gaming have played this game immaculately. They've actually just min-maxed their entire early game into the mid game. Like, there hasn't been a single moment apart from Hacker disrespecting. Apart from that, everyone else has played immaculately. And it seems like all the puzzle pieces just fit together. Once they get the advances in the early game, they always have the next step. There's never a downbeat. There's never a rest. They always have an objective to move towards.
Yep. That's what's so great about teams like Suning Gaming, Invictus Gaming, just like these top 4 teams coming out of the side of the East. Because they create more objectives. If it's early on in the game and there's no Baron, wards are their next objectives. They need to be able to protect the control wards that they have placed up. That's what they're doing right now. So right now, Suning Gaming getting better and better at it.
Camille is off by a Lonesome right now, and everyone from TOP just sat in this brush on top of a control ward. Suning Gaming are just going to walk past them, in fact. But it looks like they are collapsing into topside. Oh no, Camille, don't do it. They have the lockdown. The perfect game is ruined. Shower's dead. But they also just obliterated Marin in the base, apparently. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Plus, they managed to get the mid lane tower, and the mid lane inhibitor, and the bottom lane inhibitor.
Yeah, they're playing a different objective. Seems like TOP is trying to muck up Xiao's KDA and the chances of being called perfect game, while Suning Games are just trying to end the damn game.
This is the largest gold advantage we've seen all season long for Suning Gaming at 12,000 and just 21 minutes here. They're pushing onto the Nexus itself. Chocho taking the trip back with Phage. They're going on a road trip at this point. Just go back to the base and just watch on as the Nexus falls, because Suning Gaming, actually, they're not done. They're going to rub salt on the wound right here, move up to the spawn pad. Fury is like, well, my top laner already died. I don't need to worry about the perfect game anymore. And they will launch themselves onto the Nexus, and Suning Gaming eliminate TOP from playoffs.
Just like that. Murders that they are, Suning Gaming do it with style as well. Well, man, that was fun. That was fun for them. I just feel like Suning Gaming can showcase all these beautiful picks. The Ashe that we saw earlier this series, the Echo pick that we saw in this game. Doing it just because they can support no matter what it is. They can support the style that, sure, Echo might have a bad time when he gets to level 6 going up against Malzahar Sejuani. They're not worried about that. They're going to end the game earlier than that. First clear of Sejuani, immediately getting demolished. So early game for Suning looks probably the best in the league.
It's a very exciting race for 4th in the Eastern Conference specifically, because you have so many teams who look really good around that area. Even like JD are right next to them. They can also try and challenge Suning Gaming for the spot. Like the top 3, pretty set in stone, to be honest, if you're looking at the eastern side. Invictus Gaming, Rogue Warriors,
RNG. And that's why I feel bad for Jingdong, because they've been that story. The Gao's been a phenomenal mid laner for the team. They've been a team play team, bringing in Xiaohan and RD as well, and they've been kind of showcasing that they fit quite well in the team. That's great. But these 3-4 juggernauts in the Eastern Conference are just blocking them from getting the playoffs when they could have actually just waltzed right in the West. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate coming out of them. Now that Suning Gaming are 2 games ahead of them, it pushes Jingdong to match up, to not lose a game going forward.
It's tough though. They have a lot of tough competition in their league. Of course, the big top 3, but they need to stop beating the teams around them, and ultimately will come down to them trying to beat Suning Gaming as well, trying to nab that 4th spot. But nice little buffer that Suning Gaming created today, and also the fact that they have eliminated TOP from a playoff contention. They will not be able to make it this split, unfortunately. And TOP, we have seen some growth. It's not been all bad for them. Marin comes into the team. We've had some change-ups in the mid lane, change-up in the bottom lane. I was particularly impressed by Phage today. I thought he did an exceptional job on that team.
That's true. I think that at this point in time, TOP should feel relieved in the sense that they can now just kind of think about the next split, think about experimenting in this one as well. They have a lot of time, a lot of stage time to look to experiment on what their roster can be, what it looks like, because we haven't seen Korn in a little bit, but Korn and Karn is also a combination that they can utilize quite as well. So we'll see what their roster, what their ideal roster looks like, and if the practice going through sets them up for a proper summer split.
Exactly, because it's week 8, but because it's the LPL, we still have a bunch of games to play. So good luck, TOP. We'll see what you're made of. But for now, we are going to send it over to the analyst desk to take a look at the series.
And as the caster said, that is it for TOP, but that means that we have a very close 2-horse race for that 4th place spot between Suning and Jingdong.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense up there. Unfortunately for TOP, they're not in anymore. But thankfully for TOP, there's no such thing as relegations anymore with franchised, so they're going to be around for another split. But you're right, it gets very tense, so who's going to take that 4th place spot? And
what's interesting to me is that I feel this series was very fitting for Suning Gaming as a team, kind of like a microcosm for them. When they win super hard. And as Raz talked about in the cast, you know, there's no room to breathe. They know exactly what objective that they should be. They're ping-ponging exactly where they need to be on the map. But when they lose, it goes all out the window. It is a disaster. It's a complete mess.
This is one of the few sets from Suning Gaming where you do look at the loss and you're like, maybe it isn't all that bad, given just how it went chaotic at level 1. And you would probably spend more time appreciating the victories and how good those victories actually were for them, because they did look super clean. When they do get that snowball early, it's something that I think they've actually cleaned up even more. They've accelerated how good they are at doing it. That defeat was a bit of a fiesta at level 1 that kind of just cascaded into a really poor position on the map.
I know you were specifically talking about Hacker throughout all of this series, just how impressed you were with his jungle pathing, how he was setting up his team, and we were trying to debate, you know, is it TOP that simply don't have the vision to stop Hacker, or Hacker is actually just that good?
Yeah, Hacker seems to at least be very aware of where the opponent jungler is at all times, and he has a lot of confidence about him. And again, this is a Sejuani thing for Hacker, and I think he just should never have the champion again. He knows exactly how much damage he can take and where he can take it. So every single time you see those dives in top lane and stuff like that, Hacker's usually a big part of the reason that they're setting that up in the first place. He knows how much damage he can take, which is a rarity. I know a lot of LPL players have a preference to diving, a lot of other regions have a preference to hiding from dives. He knows exactly how much damage he can take when diving, when going forwards and being aggressive, and it enables the team very well.
And of course, we cannot compliment Hacker without looking at his partner in crime in that Echo performance tonight was incredible, not just in this game, but in all 3 games of the series, even in the loss. But he really shone this time around.
Yeah, and this is a level 9 coming into the top lane. Of course, this isn't the first time that they'll be here, but this is the biggest one, the biggest reason they're able to snowball a lot of that game through. Knight shows up massive. You probably shouldn't give him Echo. We've seen him play it once, it got banned from him consistently afterwards, and from top lane to bottom lane, coast to coast for us, they're able to make it happen.
Yeah, and Faker and Rookie were talking about how these assassins might be, you know, coming back into the meta. Fizz, Echo came to mind, so seeing that these Echoes are starting to get flexed, not just by Knight, but also by Icon, and like you said, coast to coast, the fact that Suning Gaming take 2 massive fights off of this and 2 structures, the game is pretty much won here.
Yeah, massively so, and of course this is that last fight as well where they try and get him. This is a desperation attempt, and even desperation doesn't seem to work for TOP. They were just so far behind, and You know, you mentioned it. Is Hacker playing well, or is it TOP that have some issues? I think this supersedes now the entire conversation of individuals. Whilst Knight looks outstanding in it, whilst Hacker does look very good, is TOP the inconsistent one, or is Suning Gaming the inconsistent one? Is that question that we can probably take away from this entire set for the 2-1 victory? Because they've looked good in wins, they've looked shaky in defeats, but the same thing applies for TOP the other way around.
I mean, the reality is that they just have to be better than JD. And man of the match, of course, is going to go to that flashy Echo. Knight has the most man of the match points of anyone on his team, and he's making a very strong contender about why you need to pay attention to this guy coming into the LPL.
And 7 puts him pretty close to the top now as well as MVPs go, and he's playing fantastic. He started the split off very strong, a player that comes from the LSPL that was very hyped, and Raz was super high on Knight as a player, and he's delivered on that fact. And I was actually talking to Raz about this earlier. We're now torn up between, is it Knight or Yagal that actually get a rookie of the split.
The rookie mid laner of the split.
But now they're playing against each other to try and get into the 4th place spot. Maybe they answer it for us.
And it's just unfortunate that Suning and JD are in the Eastern Conference, because you know how much damage, now that we've seen kind of the full scope of the West, how much damage that they could do over there.
Yep, makes you really wish that either JD or Suning Gaming were on the other side. Perhaps they'd have a better fighting chance of getting into the playoffs, or even climbing up higher, because right now for Suning, they can still attempt to climb. It's just that the mountain is almost insurmountable as to how far they have to go. So really it is about creating that distance with Jingdong and continuing to improve themselves as they go.
Yeah, and the casters were talking about how, you know, this is the end of the playoff road for TOP, but that does mean that now they have so much more stage experience, like you were saying. The league is franchised. TOP aren't going anywhere. The players still have a lot to prove. We used to say that they're effectively playing for pinks. They're playing to play again.
Yeah.
You can see it on Goong's face. When TOP lose that hard, he feels bad about it.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I mean, at the same time, you could tell from this set that they didn't feel all holistically horrible about the loss. They kind of could tell it was happening. And at the end of the day, Suning Gaming were just, in fact, the better team. And TOP, at least XX, has acknowledged that fact. And it was all just a bit of a laugh-it-off moment.
That said, we are going to go ahead and toss to our second series, but don't go anywhere, guys. It is the fight for 4th between Team WE and Fun Plus Phoenix.